Imagine holding something in your hands, something so ancient, so strange, that no one on Earth can explain where it came from, who made it, or why it exists. An artifact that defies history itself, as if it doesn't belong to our timeline at all. Throughout history, archaeologists and explorers have uncovered objects that should not exist. Tools and devices far more advanced than the civilizations that supposedly created them. Carvings that depict technology we haven't even perfected today. Objects buried in rock millions of years old, when, according to everything we know, there shouldn't have been humans, or anything intelligent enough to make them. Some call them OOP arts, out-of-place artifacts. Others believe they're proof of lost civilizations, or even extraterrestrial visitors. Most scientists try to dismiss them, but the truth is, they can't explain them either. Tonight, we're diving into 10 of the most bizarre, unexplained artifacts ever found. Some are locked away in museums, others were mysteriously lost or stolen. All of them will make you question what we really know about history and humanity itself. Picture this. You're an archaeologist digging through the ruins of ancient Mesopotamia. You expect to find clay jars, broken tools, maybe some jewelry, but instead, you uncover something that feels wrong. Something that shouldn't exist for another 2,000 years. That's exactly what happened in the 1930s, when a team of researchers near Baghdad unearthed a small clay jar with a copper cylinder inside and an iron rod in the center. When assembled, this simple-looking container could generate a small electric charge, just enough to shock your fingers if you touched it. Archaeologists believe this object dates back to around 200 BC, a time when, according to mainstream history, humans had no understanding of electricity. Yet, here it was, a device that could act as a primitive battery. What was it for? No one knows for sure. Some scientists argue it may have been used to electroplate gold onto objects, or for medical therapy, or even religious rituals involving static charges. But others believe it's something more profound, proof that ancient civilizations had knowledge of energy far beyond what we're taught. Some even suggest the Baghdad Battery might be a surviving fragment of technology from a lost global culture, one that understood electricity centuries, maybe millennia, before Benjamin Franklin ever flew a kite in a storm. Of course, skeptics argue it might have been nothing more than a simple storage jar, and the resemblance to a battery is coincidental. But if that's the case, why are there dozens of similar artifacts scattered across Iraq and neighboring regions? And why do some show evidence of corrosion that looks exactly like what you'd see in a used battery? Even today, no one has found a definitive answer. Is the Baghdad Battery a relic of forgotten science, or a sign that our ancestors may have been far more advanced? In 1901, a group of divers exploring the coast of the tiny Greek island Antikythera stumbled upon the wreck of a Roman-era ship. Among the statues, pottery, and coins, they found something no one expected: a corroded bronze lump that looked like nothing more than scrap metal. But when they cleaned it, they realized this was no ordinary relic. What they had found was a machine, a device made of over 30 interlocking bronze gears, encased in a wooden frame with markings in ancient Greek. Scientists now call it the Antikythera Mechanism, and it's often referred to as the world's first computer. This device, built over 2,000 years ago, could track the positions of the sun, moon, and planets. It could even predict eclipses and the timing of the ancient Olympic Games. That might sound simple, until you realize the next time humanity made something even remotely similar was over 1,000 years later, during the Renaissance. How could ancient Greek craftsmen create such precise, complex gear systems with no modern tools, no industrial machines, and no evidence of any similar technology at the time? Some historians believe the Antikythera Mechanism was created by a lost school of Greek engineering, perhaps even by someone like Archimedes himself. But others argue there's no way such precision could exist without knowledge far beyond that era. Was it a relic from a forgotten civilization? Or, as some fringe theorists suggest, a piece of technology given to humanity by visitors from beyond Earth? Even today, scientists can't fully explain how it was built, or why we've never found another device like it from the same period. It's as if it appeared out of nowhere, and disappeared just as suddenly. It's 1513. The Ottoman Empire is at its height. A renowned admiral and cartographer, Piri Reis, creates a map, a masterwork of navigation, showing parts of Europe, Africa, and South America. At first glance, it's just another early chart of the world. But centuries later, researchers studying this map would notice something impossible. On the lower edge of the map, in a section depicting the far south, lies a detailed drawing of a landmass. It has mountains, rivers, and a curving coastline. According to Piri Reis's notes, he based his map on older charts, some of which dated back thousands of years. The shocking part? Many experts believe this landmass looks exactly like the coast of Antarctica, but drawn without ice. Here's why that's strange. Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820, over 300 years after this map was made. And even then, it was buried under miles of solid ice, as it is today. Yet the Piri Reis Map shows it as if it were a temperate land, with rivers and forests. How could anyone in the 1500s know what Antarctica looked like beneath its ice sheet? Some historians claim the map might just be a distorted view of South America, but others argue it's too precise to be a coincidence. Geologists have pointed out that the map's southern landmass aligns closely with modern surveys of Antarctica's subglacial coastline, revealed only in the 20th century through seismic data. Was the Piri Reis Map copied from ancient charts made by a lost civilization that had explored the Antarctic coast thousands of years ago, before it was covered in ice? Or does it point to something even stranger, a forgotten epoch of Earth's history when Antarctica was warm, inhabited, and mapped by peoples we know nothing about? One thing is certain. Piri Reis himself admitted he compiled his map using sources he didn't fully understand. He wrote that some of his charts came from maps drawn in the time of Alexander the Great. Others were so old they were falling apart. Whatever their origin, they contain knowledge no one of his time should have had. Knowledge that raises one haunting question. What civilizations existed before our history began? In 1936, in a small town called London, Texas, not the famous one across the ocean, a couple was walking near a waterfall when they spotted something strange sticking out of a rock. It looked like a piece of wood encased in stone. Curious, they took it home. When they chipped away the surrounding material, their discovery would ignite one of the strangest debates in archaeology. What they found was a hammer, a simple, rusted metal head with a wooden handle. Nothing unusual, until geologists examined the rock surrounding it. According to several studies, the stone that had encased the hammer was estimated to be over 100 million years old. If that date is even close to accurate, this hammer existed at a time when dinosaurs still walked the earth, long before humans, long before any known civilization. How could a man-made tool be trapped in such ancient stone? Some researchers argue the hammer is simply a recent object that somehow became encased in a concretion, a natural process that can harden sediments around objects far faster than we think. But skeptics of the mainstream point to the hammer's purity of iron, which is unusually high and lacks the impurities found in typical 19th or 20th century tools. Could the London hammer be a forged tool from a forgotten civilization, one that existed millions of years ago and vanished without a trace? Or is it simply a case of geological oddity, a trick of nature mistaken for evidence of a deeper mystery. Even today, the hammer is locked away, not on public display, fueling speculation that museums prefer to keep such anomalies out of sight. After all, one single object that doesn't fit the timeline could unravel everything we think we know about history. We like to believe we know our history, that the story of humanity is a straight line, from simple tools to pyramids to space travel. But artifacts like these remind us, maybe the truth isn't so simple. Maybe entire chapters of our past have been lost, erased by time, catastrophe, or something far stranger. These objects, the Antikythera Mechanism, the Baghdad Battery, the Piri Reis Map, the London Hammer, and more still to come, may not all prove the existence of lost civilizations or alien contact. But each one forces us to ask questions that science still can't answer. What else is buried beneath our feet, waiting to be discovered? And if we keep digging, will we like what we find? If you enjoyed this journey through the strangest relics of our world, make sure to subscribe, because the mysteries we've uncovered are just the beginning. More secrets, more stories, and more artifacts await.